I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto our apostle elders which rule Great Millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Wa Abba. So I came across a couple videos that were not allowed to upload on multiple channels that I have. All right. You see this one from March 28, 2026. Upload failed. These here from April 4th, 2026. It was this one at the bottom was uploading for like 3 days. All right. And then this one, you see community guidelines violation. So that shows you that they're oppressing the people that are prophets of it, the nation of Israel. And this is prophesied, all right? It says in Amos 8 and 11, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, our power through Yahweh Shai, which he has prophets on the earth, which are Israelites, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh, which they're going to eventually persecute us that teach the truth. All right, they're going to throw us out of our houses. Some are going to go to jail. They're even going to take some of our lives for the testimony's sake. It says in verse 12, And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, and shall not find it, because Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, is going to remove mercy, which the mercy is the truth, to the Israelites, all right, and he's going to bring judgment without mercy, without mixture. It says in verse 13, In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst, and his thirst for the word.
The White House has created an FBI-led joint mission center that's dedicated. The White House has created an FBI-led joint mission center that's dedicated to proactively hunting Americans suspected of domestic terrorism. You want to know what that is? The budget request reveals anti-Americanism, anti-capitalism, anti-Christianity, support the overthrow of the United States government, extreme on migration, extremism on racism, extremism on gender, hostility towards those who traditional American views on family, hostility towards those who hold traditional American views on religion, and hostility towards those who hold traditional views on morality. Do I have your attention yet? Are you alarmed? This is what the budget request show right here. Domestic terrorists who are motivated at a range of ideologies and galvanized by recent political and social events in the United States pose an elevated threat to the homeland. Wasn't a COINTELPRO 3.0? Domestic terrorists exploit a variety of popular social media platforms, smaller websites with targeted audiences, and encrypted chat applications. They use these platforms to recruit new adherents, plan, and rally support for in-person reactions, and disseminate materials encouraging radicalization and mobilization to violence. Every accusation is a confession, and when they was accusing folks of going after them, that's what they were spewing up. In other words, if your political views are practically anything other than MAGA, you're on notice, courtesy of the FBI. Education is elevation. Y'all stay vigilant out here. Me too, of course.
All right, so as you heard the report, they're going to persecute the saints. All right, and it tells you that in Revelation 12, verse 12, Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, talking about the truth. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And how does he know? How does he search things out? Through the technology. He's watching our videos and much more than that. In the book of Obadiah, verse 6, it says, How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his things hidden? How are his hidden things sought up? which is by the same technology, which we were given the unicorn, so that we could reveal the wickedness of Esau, which condemns them, but also sets the record straight of who we are. And this is why the devil has to come down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time. It says in verse 7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border, which they're pretty much at war with the world. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and there is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and the understanding out of the mouth of Esau? Which they don't understand. This is going to lead to their demise. They think that they're going to rule forever in their mind, but this is the end of the so-called white race. All right, this is the end of an age, the end of an era. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end, that every one of the mouth of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. See, and they're upset because they got to pay for what they did to the Israelite, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian, which they scattered throughout the world in slavery. It says U.S. slavery is often described by historians and international bodies like the UN as one of the most brutal and uniquely destructive systems of human exploitation due to its scale. See? So they have to pay for that, and that's what they don't want. That's why they're coming down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time. Revelation 13 and 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So all we're doing is waiting for Yahweh to send his son Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai is going to give us the heathen as our slaves, which we were slaves to and are still subject to payment, making us slaves to debt in modern time. All right, and this is why we have this year, the year of Jacob's trouble and the year of apostasy, because they're going to make it mandatory for you to buy and sell with an implantable microchip, which is condemning to the Israelite. And if you accept it, you will be in the destruction of Edom's kingdom, which is going to be by nuclear fire. All right, their enemies and allies are going to team up against Babylon the great whore, and shoot nuclear missiles on the kingdom of Edom. All right, and Yahweh is going to send Yahweh Shai back to save us from the second death, which is going to be America turning into a nuclear lake of fire. But the reprobates of our own race that accept that device, the implantable microchip, so that they could buy and sell in the beast system, they will be destroyed with that device. All right, because the system itself will be destroyed when Yahweh Shai returns. All right, and the heathen, they will go into slavery under us to pay back what they done unto us and all nations. All right, there's 18 nations. Israel is the apple of the Lord's eye. The rest of the nations, starting with Edom, the so-called white race, will go into captivity under the Israelites. All right, and we'll pay them back for what they've done unto us. Which it tells you, right, because these anti-Christians, they'll say, oh, you're supposed to turn the other cheek. All right, that's for a brother that's actually in the truth. All right, to turn your cheek when a brother offends you. But with the heathen, we're supposed to meditate terror. meaning pray that Yahweh send the king of terrors, Yahweh Shai, which he comes in the glory of his Father. So this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with our power, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you, and to you who are troubled, talking about the Israelites, rest with us when the Lord Yahweh Shai shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not our power, Yahweh, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. So the heathen and the unbelieving Israelite is going to be destroyed together here in America in a nuclear destruction via nuclear missiles that America's allies, the NATO nations, which are going back to the European Union, the UN nations, which are the allies of America, and the BRIC nations, which is its enemies, starting with Russia and China. All right. So the Lord's going to punish the wicked and them that do wickedly with fire. All right. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Wa abababal.